Hello friends, welcome back to Rocks for Brains. So I had a request from a co-worker to make an inlay ring with some of the, like a channel inlay, with some of the stones that he and his wife had collected for their anniversary next year. And I thought, I might be able to do that, but let me practice first. So today I'm going to attempt to make a channel inlay ring and we'll see how it goes. I got a couple tungsten material inlay channel rings, these blanks, because I watched a couple of tutorial videos and they were saying that tungsten is a pretty hard metal. So in theory it would be easier to do and not to mess up. And I thought about, what stones I could use to practice. I have all of these little garnets and sapphires from a mix bag that I went through a couple years ago, and some crystals. But these I actually intended to use for another project. And so then I thought, okay, well, let's start simple. What is sparkly, relatively soft, and might look really nice? I have a bunch of this really, really sparkly, I think lepidolite. Somebody gave me this, so I don't remember exactly where it came from. I've crushed, or I guess broken, a little piece off already, so I'm gonna try to get this a little bit smaller pieces so that it'll fit. And I mean, it doesn't have to be, that small, because I want a variety of sizes so that it fills up the channel. But I will be able to grind it down and polish it after it's glued in there anyway. I think that's enough. I mean, it's a small ring anyway, but there's definitely some smaller powder pieces and some bigger pieces. Oh, this stuff is so sparkly. That's so cool. All right, so let's see if we can't put that in there and get it set. So I had to send my flat machine out to be repaired. Hopefully they can fix it. I think it's just the motor that went out, so it should be relatively easy. However, it would have been a lot easier to do this with the flat machine, because I could just use all the different grits and then polish it as well. So instead, I have some diamond tipped files, and I'm going to use my Dremel tool for a little bit of the finish work and the polishing. And to set it in there, I've got some CA glue, different thicknesses, and some accelerator. I probably should also have a ring, oh, what are those things called? The mandrel, a ring mandrel. But I don't, and I think that's okay. I'm gonna go get a little vise that I have and then just wrap, or I should say, like, put something soft in the vise so it doesn't hurt the ring as I put the stones in there. Now, a couple of the videos I saw said you need to rough up the inside in the channel to help it stick. They didn't all do that, so I don't really know how necessary that is, but I guess it couldn't hurt. So One of those folks used something on their Dremel, which I also don't have, to rough it up. So I'll probably just use one of the files that fits inside the channel and just get it a little rougher. Well, I couldn't find my vise. I have no idea where it is. A lot of my stuff is still in boxes because I don't really have a good place to set up. I have this little space in the garage right now, but there's a whole little building, another outbuilding, that I wanted to turn into a workshop. We are in the process of putting electricity in there, so hopefully soon I can do that. But in the meantime, for the ring, at least to hold it, I think I can use these little clamps. And it's rubber on there, so that'll actually be kind of nice because it won't scratch or damage the ring. At least then it'll hold it, be like my third hand. So I've seen a couple different techniques with this. One person said if you're using very, very fine stone for your inlay, to not put the glue on first, but put the stone in there and then put thin glue on top. And then someone else was using kind of larger pieces, larger stones. And I'm not sure if it was because they were using a black glue background specifically, or if this was what they would do if it was clear anyway, but they put medium in the channel and then set the stones in. So since my pieces are relatively small, I think I'm going to use a technique where you put it in and then put the thin glue on top of it, because I may have to put multiple layers, and then, you know, that way it'll all stick together, hopefully. Well, it looks a right mess right now. And yes, in case you were wondering, I do have glue all over my fingers. I almost glued my finger to the ring, so now I understand why people use the mandrel. It's okay, it's gonna come off, it's just glue. So now that all the stone is on, I'm gonna let it sit for maybe 10 minutes just to make sure that it's hardened. And then the next step is to use the files and get, you know, progressively finer grit and try to get all of the stone smooth to the level of the metal. Because, I mean, it's pretty crazy looking right now and uncomfortable, I'm sure it would be, because there's stuff on the inside too. Yep, it's a little sticky still. All right, I'm gonna let it sit. Ooh, I found the vise. It was hiding behind a box. So I think this will make it a little bit easier. I have to use the files to get that material to go down. It's not tight enough yet. That feels better. Okay. Phew, I don't know how long this is gonna take. We'll find out. Well, this would definitely be a lot easier with the flat lap machine. I'm getting there. It's pretty slow going though. And I've gone through quite a few Dremel bits here. The glue, I guess, gunks these up pretty quickly. So I may just have to debulk, you know, get it down to the metal as best I can, and then wait for my flat lap machine to come back, which probably is going to be about a week and a half, and then continue it. Because the other problem I'm having is that with the files especially, you know, it's scratching the metal, which I kind of anticipated, but in order to get those scratches out and to make it smooth again and shiny, I think the what's it called? It's basically wet sanding, but the, you know, the water with the diamond pads on the flat lap machine would actually work better. But it's not too bad. I mean, it's going okay. And you can still see that the stones are really shiny in there. So it's gonna take some work, but I think it's gonna end up looking really nice. All right, I got the flat lap machine back. It has a brand new motor, a new fuse, I think, and something else, but it works now. So this should make things a lot easier for the ring, at least I hope. I'm gonna start with a 325 wheel and then go down progressively to polish. It's looking not terrible though. I mean, from what I could do, at least with the Dremel tool. And it looks like the stones are still pretty shiny in there. So I'll see how it works with this. And hopefully I can get the rest of the glue off and make it super shiny. Turned out pretty good. I ended up putting another coat of the thick AC glue around the whole thing, and then went through all of the different grits on the flat lap machine to get it shiny again. I like that a lot. I did have to clean some of the glue out of the inside, so I used the Dremel tool for that, and it's a little rough, but it's fine. It's not gonna matter because it's on the inside. That looks pretty cool. It's not perfect, but you know, it's my first try, so I like that a lot. And I do have another one that I can practice with. Probably try to put a different kind of stone in that just to see. And I might try to stick those in the inlay and then put some of the lepidolite dust around it and see what happens there. I think that would look pretty cool. All right, well, that was pretty fun. Thanks for coming along with me on that learning adventure with these channel inlay rings. Hopefully my coworker will trust me with what he wants at this point. I'll show this to him and see what he thinks. I mean, it's not perfect, but I think it turned out pretty good for the first try, especially. So thank you guys for watching. Until next time, try to learn something new every day. Bye.